Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on the show. Karibu sana. It's an honor for me to be on the Answer Show, and I feel privileged to be here, to be able to even advise entrepreneurs, people who are starting this entrepreneur journey. So Gideon Gitonga is a young man. He's a tech entrepreneur. I'm a tech entrepreneur.
Tech entrepreneur.
Yes, I've invested in technology for the last 12 years. I've positioned myself as a business analyst. I graduated with computer science and mathematics from JCOT.
Wewe na hesabu mko hapa?
Tuko pamoja.
That's nice.
So when I came into the market, I positioned myself as a business analyst, essentially being able to connect business processes to technology so that we can be able to improve efficiency, operational efficiency, be able to improve scalability, probably enhance distribution of product and services for customers.
Okay.
So that has been the journey, because there's been a whole shift on digitization for businesses. And businesses have been looking at how can we be able to have our business processes digitized, right? So that's the space that I've played at.
Okay.
So in terms of my investment portfolio, I've been in the e-commerce space. We were among the first people to do an e-commerce platform in Kenya. We have been in the payment space. We did payments, cross-border payments back then. We've also been in the investment space.
Okay.
And that's where we are still playing. We've also been in prop tech. We have been in real estate. So technology is in every sector.
Okay.
And essentially, those are some of the solutions that we've been able to develop.
Okay.
And right now we are running Sortika. Sortika Inc. Sortika is a Delaware registered company in the US, but operating in Kenya with a subsidiary. And one of the things that we are doing in Kenya, and more so the entire sub-Saharan Africa, is to formalize informal transactions. So we realize that there are over 400 million adults in sub-Saharan Africa who have no formal credit score, right? So they cannot access formal financial services from any traditional financial institution.
Okay.
So one of the things that we decided to do was to look at all these informal transactions that people do, because a lot of our people depend on informal financial transactions for financial support. We thought, how can we be able to use those transactions to be able to offer this a formal way of being able to participate in formal financial services with the end goal of them being attaining financial freedom. Financial freedom is freedom of time and money. Everybody who is working today, they're looking at when they're going to retire. But very few people actually have a retirement number they are working towards during their lifetime. And that's what Sortika does. So if you are lending money to your friend, if you lend money to your friend, if I lend money to him, that transaction is between the two of us. Nobody else knows about it.
Yes.
A lot of our people are in the CHAMAS, the cooperative movement. It's the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa.
True.
So you contribute money to a chama, you are saving there, you are investing there, you're borrowing money and actually paying there. But those transactions cannot help you get a loan from a formal financial institution.
True.
They cannot help you make a formal investment. They cannot help you make a formal saving. But with Sortika now, it's possible. If you're lending money to your friend and they're repaying you, we can use that to actually be able to build a formal credit score for you. If you're contributing to a chama, we can actually be able to use that to
build that credit score.
Good. Yeah, so that is exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
We're formalizing informal transactions, leveraging on technology to be able to do that, because technology has made it easier for us to be able to automate this kind of processes that happen, these transactions that happen. And obviously the goal is to help our people attain financial freedom.
Awesome. Financial freedom. That's the key word.
That's the key word. We want people to have freedom of time and freedom of money.
Okay.
Time means that you're no longer tied to a 8 to 5 p.m. You're making money any time of
regardless.
Regardless.
I had a chance to police to cut. I had a chance to go through the app,
Correct.
Sortika Inc.
Yes.
And I must say the financial language there is simplified. That was the word. And of course the prompts.
Correct.
The prompts are easy to maneuver.
Correct.
And I think that's a plus for you.
Yes, it is. It is a plus. One of the major challenges that we noticed in Sub-Saharan Africa is financial literacy. Financial literacy levels are very low, and a lot of financial literacy or finances is not something that is taught in school. So we had to find a way of simplifying this jargon in finance for the common mwananchi, so that the common man on the street is able to understand how they can leverage on these particular services, which have been thought to be a preserve of the elite. So how can they now be for the common man? It is about simplifying it, and you are leveraging on technology to do that. Things like AI, very, very simple. You can talk to AI very simply, and we know that's the future where it's going. And those are the tools that we've employed on Sortika, so that we can make it simple for our people to be able to participate in markets that they have not been able to participate in.
Okay.
Yes, and that's how we are formalizing people who are in the informal sector doing informal transactions. We want to bring them to the mainstream financial services,
So that they can have a place at the table when people are talking about retirement and all.
Correct. We want everybody to achieve financial freedom.
Awesome.
And that is our goal. There are 400 million people in Sub-Saharan Africa. If we don't have a formal credit score, that's our target market.
Fantastic. You talked of the numbers, 400 million.
Yes.
Was that the key reason you started Sortika to grab those numbers?
Yeah, from a commercial perspective, obviously those commercial objectives.
Okay.
But essentially the purpose of Sortika is to be able to create financial freedom. Sortika was born back in 2010 out of an investment club that we were running of over 4,000 people. And one of the things that we realized is that people don't have appetite for the same investment products. People have different risk profiles. People are looking for different things when it comes to finances. And we thought, how can we be able to create a marketplace where people can access all the products that they would want based on their risk profile and all that, and how can they be assisted in that particular journey? That's the reason why we built Sortika. So the goal is to be able to help people, and the purpose for us and the drive that drives Sortika is to be able to help people achieve financial freedom. When it comes to the numbers, it was astounding for us. When we were doing our market analysis, we found that 400 million people in Sub-Saharan Africa don't have a proper credit score. 45% of the adults in Sub-Saharan Africa actually rely on informal social circles for their financial support. People actually rely on their friends to survive. And in Nairobi, that is what is currently happening.
That's the reality.
That is what is the reality. The economy is bad, and people are relying on each other to actually be able to survive. Kenyans are borrowing 1.3 trillion shillings among themselves to be able to support each other. So we are a social economy. We depend on people. So it was astounded when we saw those kind of colors. And we said, how can we be able to help these people leverage on these transactions for the purpose of them being able to access formal financial services? That is investments, savings, and even loans. So how can we be able to help our clients do that? From planning to being able to do to the entire financial planning journey. So that has been our drive. But we are astounded that the numbers are astronomical.
Good. Now we talk of product development. Sortika INC is a product.
Is a product
offering services to the people.
Correct.
Help us make a sense of product development.
Yes.
Because now you started somewhere.
Yes.
Help us make sense of what is product development, of course, and what it takes.
Yeah, sure. So obviously I'm a product development specialist. Yeah, that's how I package myself in addition to being a business analyst. So product development is the process by which we create products and we are able to bring them into the market. So product development starts from the process of ideation. We all have ideas. A lot of people have very beautiful ideas that they would like to be able to develop into actual products. So that is what, as a product development specialist, I actually do. I help you bring your ideas into the market. And so it starts from ideation, it goes to market research, it goes to being able to create concepts and designing those particular concepts. True. It goes to engineering, then it goes to actually being able to launch a product into the market, and beyond that, it's being able to do what we call monitoring and evaluation. Are we able to see how this product is actually performing in the marketplace? So that's the product development process. So it's a whole process, and product development can start from a simple idea that you have as an entrepreneur that you want to bring to the market. It can come from customer sentiments that people are actually saying, or our customers are saying that they will require a new service, and then we have to develop a new product around that. It can come from brainstorming within the company, and people are saying we feel that we can offer an additional service or an additional product to our customers. So that's how ideas are generated. And then there's a whole process now that comes into that, and that's what we call the product development process, and that's what it is. So product development is the process of creating and bringing into the market new products and services. Yes.
You mentioned market, and one of the biggest traits of a marketplace, regardless Africa, Europe.
Correct.
Regardless.
Yes.
Market is dynamic.
Very dynamic.
How do you now narrow down
yes
to specifics, of a particular market.
Yes.
When you are launching or developing your product.
Yes. So there's a process we take our clients through. It's called the market engineering process.
Market engineering
sprint. Yes.
A sprint.
It's a sprint.
Okay.
And essentially what we do and what is important for us is to be able to understand what the customer sentiment is, right? So in terms of a specific product or service that we want to offer. So the first thing you establish is how big is the gap.
How big is the gap?
How big is the gap? So so how is it a big need for a lot of people? Because if a need is not big enough, then it's not on the market. You get it? So you first of all look at how big is the market, what is the gap within that particular market. Then you look at the competition. Who is providing a service in that particular market currently? What are the available solutions that people have? It's very important for you to do all this kind of research. And therefore that boils down into data. So data is everything. You have to be able to collect data all the time. So you have to be at the forefront of being able to do surveys to your customers. You have to be able to understand customer sentiments and all this manner of things. So it's very, very important for you to be at your A game when you actually want to be able to understand the market, the dynamics. Again, as a company, you have to be open to new technologies, to new innovations that are coming in the market. How can you be able to employ these? And how can you be able to use these technologies to improve customer experience? Because customer experience, you can innovate around customer experience. And that's our own new service. The way you're offering your service can be a competitive advantage for you. You have to do competitor analysis all the time for you to be at the forefront. You have to know what are my competitors doing? What's the value proposition that my competitors are providing? And we've been able to bring this and break it down to just a simple process we call the market engineering sprint, right?
Okay.
Where we take you through step-by-step process, and at the end of the day, you're actually able to come up with how big the market is, what market are we addressing, in terms of the customer numbers, what's the competition, what's our value proposition, be able to build all that, and then we can actually be able to decide what gap in the market are we going to address. And if it's a big pain point that would actually be commercially viable for us to actually develop a product for. So that's how we've been able to break down that entire need for you to be ahead in the market through just a simple sprint that we call the market engineering sprint.
Very well. Now we have the market.
Yes.
We have the product.
Yes.
Of course, now the next conversation would be the price of your product.
Correct.
What do you consider, setting a price for your product?
Yeah, definitely. So pricing is a big area for a lot of companies, and there are a lot of factors that go into being able to determine a price of a commodity or a service. So the first one is cost. What has been the cost?
So cost should be number one.
Cost is important. Cost is important. I'm not saying cost is number one, because number one, I would say it's your business strategy and what your objective is, right? So your business objective should be number one. Then obviously you have to look at cost. But obviously if you're going to provide a service, it should be driven by your strategy. For example, you should say, my strategy to produce this particular product is to gain market share. Right? So if you want to gain market share, your product is likely to be priced cheaply so that you can get a lot of people. Number two, you could say it's a premium product. It's a luxury product. So which means it could have a higher price. You get it? Or you could say my strategy is profitability. So I want to make profit. I'm not interested in market share. I'm interested in profit. For example, if we look at companies like Uber and Airbnb, initially their strategy was market share. They just wanted to have as many listings as possible and as many customers as possible using the product.
True.
So they couldn't mind even offering their service for free. You get it? Even at smaller. But those strategy changes over time, that now we are focused on profitability. Then you have to start looking at your margins, and you're going to drop off customers out of the way, because purchasing power is also not a problem. So we say your business strategy is the first objective. Is the first factor that you consider. Then you go to cost. What is the cost of me being able to provide this particular service? So because you have to cover your cost for you to be able to be sustainable. Then you're also looking at the demand. Who is the target customer? Do they have the purchasing power for them to actually be able to pay this? You see, price is what the customers decide to pay. If one of us agree here that this cup is worth 500 shillings, the market is saying we can pay 500. So if you come and say it's 2,000, nobody's going to pay you. So you have to also look at what the customer sentiment is. Number four is probably look at what the competitors are offering a similar product for, right? And then look at your value proposition as the fifth factor for you to consider. So if your product is more valuable than another product, probably you've improved on performance, you've improved on the features that are within that particular product, then obviously you may start saying that this may be a highly priced service or product than the other one. So those are some of the factors that you have to look at. But I think the important one is what your strategy is. Again, you have to look at seasonality. Seasonality is another thing. Some businesses have peak seasons, others have off-peak seasons, and you have to play around pricing at that point, so that you can be able to cater for what your strategic objectives are, either profitability or market share. So, but seasonality is also a factor that you have to be able to put into play.
Okay. You talk so when you use the cup,
yes,
as an example. I will also use the cup.
Yes.
Let's say in this company produces this cup.
Yes.
Sells for, let's say, 200.
Yes.
Another company does the same.
Yes.
And sells that for 500.
Yes.
So the issue now when it comes to the marketplace,
yes,
to the customer,
yes,
there's this perception,
yes,
prices and value.
Yes, perception, yes, prices and value. Yes.
How do you navigate that as a person developing a product? Yes.
It's about what your objective is. For example, you'd say, my product is a luxury product. So like Louis Vuitton, it's a luxury product. It's the same bag that everybody uses. But it depends with how you actually do your branding. You get it? So if it's a luxury product, you have to get a perception in your customer's mind that this is an expensive product. It's a premium product for you to have. It is prestigious for you to have this particular cup. So you can sell it for 500.
Should we do that for all products?
No. You see, it depends on what your strategic objective is.
Okay.
The corporate profitability. And that's the reason why you actually branding yourself as a luxury product, because you know your margins are quite good. Because the cost of production is the same for you and the guy you're selling at 200 shillings. You get it? Right? So you may have produced the cup with 100 shillings, all of you. But how you brand yourself because of your strategic objective, which may be profitability, then you can sell yours at 500. But with the guy selling you at 200, he has a whole different target market. Because the moment you do 500, now you're selling to a certain segment of customers.
Yes.
So your target customers may be guys living in Kilimani, the guys living in those. So you may not do so many sales, but if you do one sale, you are beating this guy with 3 or 4 sales for him to make the same margins that you're actually making.
Okay.
But this other guy may actually be targeting mass market. He wants to sell as many as he can. So he's just making a profit margin of 100 shillings and he's selling at 200 shillings. So his strategic objective is market share. Can I make as many sales as I can? You get it? So that is that. So it depends with what your strategic objective is, and that's what also informs how you want to brand yourself, and that also informs your value proposition. So for example, you'd say, my cup is exotic. It's what? So you're trying to create more value around your cup, so that your customers can perceive it to be a prestigious item for them to be able to have. So obviously what drives how you're going to price is your strategic objective. Do I want profitability with less sales, or do I want market share, that everybody has my cup in their home? Then that will really be able to be the key drivers in terms of how you want to position your product in the market. Yeah.
Mr. Gitonga, it's time for us. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But time for us to take a short break.
All right.
Remember, we are coming to you from the arbor of James Gishuru Road. Keep it. Anza.